Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach. Today we're going to be talking about NFTs as we normally do. Now, this isn't specifically about Ecomi and VeVe, but it definitely makes me think about what is possible regarding NFTs. Of course, we have Garyvee and his, I actually don't know who it is, but it's clearly his business partner who he has started Candy Digital, which is an NFT, I believe, company essentially. And we're going to have a listen to what they had to say about this. They speak about Disney and they speak about some other IP stuff too. So let's jump straight into it.
Michael Rubin, Executive Chairman of Fanatics, a provider of licensed sports merchandise. Mike Novogratz, founder and CEO of Galaxy Digital, the digital assets investment manager, and entrepreneur and investor Gary Vaynerchuk, aka Garyvee, are teaming up. Together, they're launching Candy Digital, a digital collectibles company.
All right, let's start that again.
Executive Chairman of Fanatics, a provider of licensed sports merchandise. Mike Novogratz, founder and CEO of Galaxy Digital, the digital assets investment manager, and entrepreneur and investor Gary Vaynerchuk, aka Garyvee, are teaming up. Together, they're launching Candy Digital, a digital collectibles company. Their first partner in the NFT space, that's non-fungible tokens, if you remember, is no less than Major League.
Okay, so here we see Candy, build the future of digital collectibles. Candy is hiring Crave, Connect. Sorry, I couldn't tell if you could read this or not. Crave, collect, and connect. Being a true fan is no longer just a spectator sport. That's really interesting, actually, how they're modeling this.
I'm pleased to say both Mike and Gary join us now. Guys, fantastic to have you on the show. Gary, I'm going to begin with you because last time you were on, you helped put this in English. What is Candy Digital, and what's this going to mean for, I think, around 80 million Fanatics consumers, but also MLB fans? Talk us through it.
You know, it's a marketplace, an IP, a brand that is looking to curate and collect intellectual property assets and create its own and create non-fungible tokens to the marketplace that we think bring disproportionate value, whether that's on-chain or off-chain. And obviously, to do something with Michael and Mike is pretty incredible for me. And we're excited about it. I think for MLB fans, you've got three individuals who got some gray hairs at this point in their lives, who've been through the battles and also have a good sense of what's going on in the NFT and collectibles space. And we're very hopeful that over the next several months and years, we put together products that the market is interested in.
I remember vividly when we had you on a few weeks ago and you said NBA Top Shot is a phenomenon, and that's a huge NFT marketplace. It kind of combines the sort of crypto craze with the sports fanaticism too. Is this you saying, look, whatever those guys can do, we can do, and maybe better?
I certainly hope so. Listen, I think there's a step back. This is going to be a giant market. We're literally at the national anthem, not even the first inning of the NFT movement, right? NFTs are going to revolutionize how we think about collectibles, how we think about digital art, how we think about IP in general, from music to brands. And so I think there's going to be room for lots of players. We think we're going to build a world-class company with long-term vision. I spent a lot of time in the crypto world taking the institutional investor on a journey into this crypto journey. And I think we're going to do the same thing here. Fanatics has 82 million rabid sports fan customers. They, right now, probably aren't a lot of them NFT players, right? The NFT community came mostly from crypto natives. And so part of this journey is making NFTs accessible to this broad universe.
That's really important. Now, regardless of this not being a VeVe thing, which of course is something that I cover a lot and I'm a big fan of, the main thing is, and this is something that's going to build Omi as well, right? Omi price on Ecomi, right? Is the fact, sorry if you heard my Facebook, by the way, is the fact that this is all about, obviously we have the fan stuff, we have all the beautiful technology and stuff, but how do we get people to adopt this technology? Well, it's got to be accessible. It's a very similar thing as to how the internet is, right? You don't have to understand how YouTube works to be able to watch YouTube. And it's going to have to be a very similar thing with NFTs where, you know, you're going to have a very small learning curve to be able to enjoy it. And honestly, that is one of the most important things about it, is building its accessibility so that in the next 5-10 years, it can be a really mainstream option.
Just a small crypto universe. Sports is a perfect place to do it, right? If you think about what crypto is, it's about building communities, tribalism in lots of ways. And sports already has that, right? You've got these fanatic Jets fans, if you're Garyvee, or Knicks, or you name it, or Yankees versus Mets. And so using digital assets as a new form of entertainment, using them to bring young fans into the community, it's fascinating. And MLB is a great partner to start with.
Gary, again, when you were on last time, you said the power in NFTs is that one day we're all going to have a wallet. We're all going to have loads of tokens in that wallet, and you're going to be able to exchange them in the future. Every time one of these collectibles or whatever it is that's tied to MLB changes hands, you assume, I like the way that the economics gets reset, that they get a cut of the price that's paid. Will Candy Digital also take a cut of that? Like, just let me understand the business here.
Yeah, so I think every deal is different, and maybe I'll allow Mike to get into those details, but I think Mike will have the same answer as I will, which is every single one of our deals are going to be different deals, no different than, let's say, a TV network that goes out and got TV rights from different leagues or different IP. Right. But the reality is the blockchain allows that royalty exchange, and it's very much part of our strategy when applicable. And so the other thing for the viewers who are watching right now, a lot of you will probably remember when video games were not the most important thing in culture or the biggest entertainment. I'm 45. I remember when Pac-Man and Donkey Kong were just getting going, pre-Nintendo. If you think about what FIFA did for soccer in America, the video game, FIFA, created so much more interest, and then the Olympic soccer team, the World Cup, soccer teams, women's and men's, built on top of that. For me, what's incredible about NFTs and why I'm so excited that Candy has this deal with Major League Baseball, when you look at the incredible young stars like Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto, taking the momentum of what's going on with the sport to begin with, and now creating a new genre that may get people that are more fringe or maybe not even deep into baseball into it, because this genre called NFTs, just like this genre called video games, changed the landscape. I think that's what we're talking about here in the macro.
Now, some people are going to wonder, maybe even worry, MLB, the fact that they've partnered up with Candy Digital, is that an issue necessarily? Pardon me, for VeVe. Now, first of all, I want to have a look at this headline right here. Candy to utilize new NFT ecosystem built on Ethereum. So I wonder if this is actually going to be an immutable X thing like we've seen with VeVe. But what's important is that just because MLB may have signed a deal with Candy Digital and we haven't seen what Candy is capable of, but knowing Gary, I'm excited. And I'm definitely supportive, to be very clear, of Candy Digital, based really on Gary, because I do bet on the jockey, not the horse as such. I do think it's also important to keep in mind that the license that MLB will have likely given over or signed with Candy Digital may not be exclusive. Now, it might be exclusive by all means, but I doubt it on the basis of the opportunities that are outside. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And I think this will be an early iteration or something that will become more and more common and understood, as he said, where we have, Premier League, this, that, and the other being signed to different sports networks. We're in the very start of this, and I think licenses will change and evolve over time as well.
Mike, is that what you see?
Yeah, listen, I think, like I said, we're just starting this journey. No one understands the TAM or what the total addressable market of this space is, right? You're going to have VR glasses soon where you're going to be able to see your NFTs through your VR glasses. You're going to have whole metaverses that people live in, that they watch games in, and all of a sudden you'll be able to buy your merchandise, your digital merchandise in this digital world. And so in 5 years, we're going to look back and we're going to be like, wow, it's a very different environment that we live in. And so, like I said, we're building this for the long term. You can rest assured that for every partnership we have, the economics are, what we think about first is alignment. So we make money, they make money. But I think it's going to be a fascinating journey. And we're not, we're not even started in lots of ways.
If I think of a brand that has enormous power, collectible potential, the same kind of craze and interest, I'm not sure whether it connects to the crypto world so much, it would be Disney. I guess.
Yeah.
Gary, you're the marketing guru. You've got 30 seconds. Pitch Disney. What would you be saying to Disney at this moment to get them to...
No, of course, Disney, we already have very good ideas that Disney has in fact signed with VeVe, and that it's just a matter of time probably for VeVe to actually design and run the NFTs in a way that Disney is happy with. That's my guess, obviously not confirmed. But it's interesting to hear Gary's answer to this. If you're confused as to how I know what he's about to say, is because I've already watched this. In fact, I already tweeted about this, and I will show you my Twitter after this because I think it's important for anyone who's interested in the space to follow me if you want to be kept something happening.
Join you at Candy Digital.
I don't need 30 seconds. They've had 100 hours of meetings on this. With this announcement, Michael and I say we're open for business. We want to talk to every meaningful intellectual property, but Disney has spent thousands of hours in the last 60 days, I promise you, around this conversation.
Gary, Mike, what do you think?
Listen, I think Gary's dead right. You cannot be in the entertainment space, the sports space, the IP space, the brand space, without really diving in and trying to understand how this is going to change the landscape. And so every major company is thinking about it. My advice to people has been go slow, right? You don't need to rush in. And we're trying to build partnerships for the long run. We don't even have that many ways yet that people are displaying NFTs, if it's in the virtual world or in the physical world. All of that's going to change in the next few years, right? With home displays, with displays in the metaverse, right? On your phone, in your computers, on your Oculus headset. And so this is a frontier industry. Everyone's going to be part of it. It's going to change the way we think about advertising, about collectibles, about sports. It's going to be fun.
Big changes always seem silly to everybody who's watching now until it's not. Social media was silly. The internet was silly. Things are fads until they're world changers.
Until they explode. Speaking of going slow, Mike, kind of the opposite of what we've seen in the crypto space, and I can't have you on the show without asking you what you make of what we're seeing in terms of the price action at this moment in cryptocurrencies. And a lot of the feedback I get is that there are big whales out there now, and the smaller guys, the retail players collectively are really important, but they feel like they're being overwhelmed. What's your kind of response to that? Yeah.
I don't think that's true at all. Listen, crypto started as a ground up movement, and it is still basically a retail game. I have been working for 8 years more trying to bring institutions into the space, and they are moving into the space at an accelerating pace. But the price action is still dominated by retail. It's one of the few places on earth that you can get 50, 75, 100 to 1 leverage. All the big overseas exchanges provide immense amounts of leverage. I tell our customers and my friends, it's a 100 vol asset. You don't need leverage. But, part of this generation, the new generation, wants to get rich quick. And so people are taking monster leverage. What you saw happen was people got too excited about the space. There was so much good news coming out, a lot got priced in. Retail got very, very levered. And you can see that in so many different ways. And then a few things happened, right? The Chinese made some comments where they kind of, kicked the space in the knees. I think short-term painful, long-term actually very constructive. You had Elon Musk tweeting about ESG. You had
what are your thoughts on what he's saying right now, by the way?
And it created this deleveraging, right? People were too long.
Because I think a lot of people have different ideas as to what affected this, right? And I'm personally keeping my 2 cents to myself because I'm still so early, so new, and I will explain very clearly to you now that if I don't know something about something, I will learn and listen before I speak on it. So that's my own take about it, which is not a take, to be very clear. What is your take, though? I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
The wrong level. They all got wiped out, and now we're going to consolidate here. Bitcoin between 35,000 and 45,000 for a while until the story gets picked back up, until people brush off the dust, and you'll see this market head much higher towards the end of the year.
How low might it go? How low might it go, just in case people are watching and we get to that point and they're fearful? Is there any level this could get to?
Gary's reaction, because Gary, I think, dislikes questions like these. My guess, not saying that this is what he does, because I'm not Gary, but...
my son says, "Are you Nostradamus?" I say, "No, I kind of wish I was." Listen, these
Yeah, I know.
they usually take a few, weeks to months to consolidate before we head back higher. I could be wrong. There's such enthusiasm. When I look at the quality of the people that we're hiring at Galaxy, right? We started the year at 75, 80 people, or started last year. We're going to be 400 by the end of the year. And the level of excellence in our summer intern class and our new analysts and in the people we're bringing in is a quantum higher than it was 3 years ago. And so when I think about great businesses, it's human capital. And the amount of human capital pouring into the blockchain crypto space is immense.
I saw that Candy Digital was hiring as well. Gary, come in. You were trying to say something there.
No one thought of NFTs as part of, but it is part of the blockchain space. It's this revolution of decentralization.
Yeah,
I think the one thing I wanted to add was Mike's
the one guy that Gary can't interrupt, it seems. Gary, and I love Gary, right? Which I know some people are going to be like, "Oh, you like Gary?" I don't care. I like Gary. He's been helpful in my own understanding since just after school, basically a year after school is when I found Gary, and I built businesses since listening to his thoughts and ideas and etc. And every time he will definitely interrupt you, but this guy. Maybe not.
If you look at the historical way that Bitcoin and Ethereum have played, I would add one more variable, which is the reality now, though, is there's so many more people playing in the space. And what can happen in that scenario is one big thing can happen tomorrow, and it could change the dynamic of the marketplace. To your earlier point, Disney could come and announce X, Y, and Z, and all of a sudden Ethereum takes a substantial push. You have enough real things happening now, not the alpha. We're in the beta stage. Big brands, big businesses, big governments coming in that could do something that could trigger it in a much quicker cycle. And I think that, especially for Ethereum, where people are building on top of, is something to pay attention to.
Yeah, and Mike could come out and say, you know what, I've had enough of crypto and I'm done, and the market would collapse too. And it's the message here just that it's early days. We're going to get these price swings until you get more accessibility, until you have more crypto products like NFTs and people get more comfortable with the space. Mike?
Now I can hear.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. To just jump in, if I'm not sure if Mike's hearing. Of course, that's what always happens. That's what happened with internet stocks. That's what I'm fascinated that we're in 2021, just have lived through 1994 to 2021, and people don't see the pattern recognitions of consumer innovation. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Mike, final word. Do I still have you?
Yeah, I'm here again. I lost audio for a little while, so I'm sure Gary kept us entertained. Listen, my final word is this whole space is moving at an unbelievable pace of innovation, of excitement, and of new people coming into it. And so there are going to be ups and downs in price, but I'm wildly confident that the NFT space is going to be far bigger than people think. And the crypto space is going to be far bigger.
And actually, if we have a look at the comments, right, I've seen people talk about, Garyvee is shady. Everyone says Gary is shady. I've never heard someone actually explain what's shady about him. So by all means in the comments, let me know if you feel the same way, because personally, I've only been helped by what he says, and I've never I've spoke to him personally through Twitter replies, which is I'll reply to his tweet and then he'll, reply with something very small or whatever. We definitely don't know each other, but after just listening to him and actually listening to him a lot, I mean a lot, it's just been very helpful, listening to what he has to say, the people who he speaks to, the conversations that you can listen in on. There's so much education there, I think is the easiest way of putting it, but yet everyone who I see is oh, this guy has a snapback, F him, what are you talking about? Actually, what is your issue with him, you know what I mean? I actually tweeted about this today, very early, 3 a.m. But yeah, I do tweet, so make sure to follow me on @ZakiZoo. Very, very exciting. Obviously, again, this wasn't about VeVe, this is about Candy Digital and, more so just NFT space, but I'd love to hear your take. That being said, thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.